All right. So you know how you're supposed to compare apple to apple when you're doing these camera gears review, right? Well, guess what? That's what they want you to think. Because in today's video, I will be doing some apple to pear comparison. I took the DJI Action 4, which is a action camera, and I compared that with the DJI Pocket 2, which is a camera made mostly for vlogger. It's got that external gimbal on top of it. So I took it to a indoor test. I did a lot of walking and stop and walking, and then take photos with my Ricoh GR3X. So it's a lot going on. It's not easy trying to be a content creator. I'm always carrying all these gears around. People think I'm crazy. So the reason why I want to do this comparison is because whenever I go out, I'm always debating with myself, like, what camera do I take with me today? Would it be the DJI Action 4 or would it be my DJI Pocket 2? And it usually ends up with me just not taking any of them and just my iPhone. And it's more casual that way, right? I don't really want to carry extra gears. But I think it's cool to see when it comes to, like usability, image quality, and the amount of like smoothness, stabilization you can get, which one will win? Because both of them are equipped with some of the modern stabilization technology, right? Even though one has a physical gimbal and the other one relies on mostly internal. But we do have a clear winner here. But I hate to be that guy and say it. It depends, right? It depends on what situation you're in. One of the cameras is going to be than the other. So let's take a look at the Action 4 first. The way I had it set up, I was wearing the chest strap that I got a couple years ago. So the Action 4, it's positioned in front of my chest, nice and center. It's always pointing forward. And if I turn my body, the camera will also turn with me. It doesn't compensate the, tilting left and right. So it's just gonna come off more natural, mimicking my walking and how I see the world when I'm walking. So as you can see here, we're in a convention. It's an indoor environment. Um, Everything is artificial light. We have lots of color going on. People are wearing different colors, cosplay. So it's a very chaotic environment. Looking at these DJI Action 4 footage, I can tell you that it looks mostly stable, right? I mean, I wasn't walking too fast or anything. I was just actually walking slower than my normal pace because I was checking out all these stands on each side. We have a lot of uh, figurines, animes, like waifu figures, like just so much to see. So I wasn't walking the uh, fastest. I was just checking out everything as I walk. And what do you think? What do you think of the footage? I personally think that even though it's very smooth, the image does look a little warp, a little bit like the action camera. You can see in the corners here, all the lines are just being stretched out. Not a lot, it's manageable. And what do you think of the noise level? Honestly, I think it's not great. And the reason is because we're getting a lots of these digital stabilization look, which is one thing that I don't like and I even hate. Right? It just looks so artificial. Looks gross. I mean, it reminds me of like the iPhone footages with the digital stabilization. I mean, it's great. It's smooth. Like you're not gonna get motion sickness from looking at it, right? But it's not great. It's not, cinematic. Even though we lost context of what that word means in today's YouTube world, it's cool to look back and be like, oh, I missed this detail back there. That's cool. Now I got to record it. But I think that's all it can do. Just getting the information at that time, at that space, so you can go back to it. The setting I was using was the 30 FPS 4K with the 4:3 aspect ratio. I do have the rock steady stabilization on. You can go for the RS Plus, which is gonna make it more stable. But I think in my scenario, I didn't really need it. I was just walking. I wasn't doing anything extreme or anything. But again, I think the Action 4 really struggles a bit in this low light situation. If you look at people's hair, you can see that it becomes a little fuzzy. It becomes almost like a mesh. We're losing some definition. Again, I'm gonna let you judge what you think of the image quality below. Overall, I think the footage is smooth. It captures information. It's got decent color. And throughout my filming, I would say the camera stays on my chest strap for most of the time. I didn't really need to adjust it or anything because the mount is tight and secure and it doesn't turn sideways or anything. It's nice and secure strapped in front of my chest. I would say the height of the setup, it's interesting, right? You can strap the action camera on your chest, or I could use the backpack clip that I got a couple of days ago, and I was thinking about doing it on my backpack instead, but that's gonna put it off center, and also it's gonna introduce more movement because the shoulder strap is always moving and like to slide. So I thought a chest strap is the best way to go, and I was definitely right. But in return, the angle that we're getting here is definitely lower. I mean, I'm not like a tall dude or anything. So with the camera being in front of my chest, it's gonna look like I'm a 12-year-old walking around. I mean, 12-year-olds nowadays, they're pretty tall, right? So wonder what their diet is so I can mimic that. Another aspect I want to talk about is the stealthness when I'm using the Action 4 on a chest mount in a public space like this, right? And I would say overall, I didn't really get too much attention as I watched back all these footages. I didn't get the iconic side eyes from people or anything. And overall, I would say if you are someone who likes to do photography and filming in the public, but a little bit self-conscious, I think the setup will be okay. I think you can handle it. Now we do have a scene here shot using the Action 4 in a overcast daylight that's coming through these super tall floor to ceiling window. And overall the lighting situation just a lot better. But again, I think when I'm looking at the shadowy area, like people wearing darker clothing, and the image quality do fall off in those particular area. It becomes more fuzzy. I mean, if you look at the carpet itself, right, it just becomes fuzzy and you can see a digital sharpening going on. But overall, it's a very usable footage. Again, I believe that Action 4 or any action camera, it's good at when you're trying to film the entire process without caring too much about image quality. And then when you look back, you'll be glad that you capture some of these details that you didn't even notice when you're filming. All right, next up we have the DJI Pocket 2, and I hope if you have eyes, you can see it right away. The image quality just instantly kills the Action 4. I mean, we're in the same room, right? Same environment, same lighting scenario. It's all artificial lights coming out from the ceiling, from all direction. People are wearing colorful clothing. And right away, you can just see the footage. It's so much smoother and more enjoyable, or just like, I want to throw in the term like cinematic to look at in general. It doesn't look like it's filmed on a smartphone, nor does it look like it's filmed on a action cam either, right? It's like it's between like a smartphone and a actual DSLR. We're getting a lots of details in the both the highlights and the shadow area. We're not seeing a lots of the digital sharpening that we saw on the Action 4. The stabilization of the footage is very good. We do see the up and down movement from, I was walking. That can transfer into the footage a little bit. But again, that's like a very, very natural and very smooth movement. And I think that's totally acceptable. Now, the footage coming off from the Pocket 2, it is slightly higher resolution. I think it's like 3880 by 2880 or something like that. Correct me, I'm wrong. But I think it's I think 16 to 9 or 16 to 10 wider. aspect ratio and we are getting slightly more details. I just think overall it's a better image quality. You can see people's hair, a lot more details. We do get a little bit of a blurry background, the bokeh, if you're filming something closer up. But overall, most of the stuff are in focus, which is a look that I was going for anyway, because to me, bokeh is not that important. I know there are camera lenses out there. You can stop down all the way to like f1.2. I personally use the Sony G Master 50mm f1.2 before that thing. It's like a bokeh monster. But in a situation like this, events, convention, I just want more details and more information in my shots without looking like it's blown out or too noisy. And I think the Action 2, it's perfect getting that job done. Both subjects in the front as well in the far back are in focus, and that's very interesting. As I'm watching the footage or checking out the merchandises on the stand, people's expression, they're all very, very real. Now, I also want to share about the stealthness with this setup. I would say it's about the same as the Action 4. The way I was doing it, I was just holding it in front of my chest again. We're at chest level, and I wasn't holding it upright straight. I was actually pointing it forward at like a 45-degree, but then you can electronically point the camera up front, so it's shooting forward. Now, the fact that I'm holding the Pocket 2 in my hand, it gives me extra freedom. I was able to use my hand. I can extend, getting closer to some of the merchandise and get a just very cool and different perspective. Whereas I just couldn't do that with the DJI Action 4 because it's fixed on my chest mount. Unless I physically get really close to the subject with my chest, then that's impossible, right? So the Action 2 provides that flexibility. Like, oh, this is cool. Then I just point at it and get really close to it. Again, as I rewatch some of these footages shot on DJI Pocket 2, I don't see I'm getting any like side eyes from people at all, which is something that you would definitely get a tons of if you bring your full rig DSLR, like a Sony A7 III or anything. Like people are like, oh my god, he's filming. If you're using something small like the Action 4 or the Pocket 2, the chances are people's not going to look at you. Like people like to think that they're the center of the universe and everyone is looking at them, but the reality is we all care about our own images in the public. Again, sometimes I get self-conscious too, but that's one thing that I'm working on constantly, right? Just not give a crap about what people think and just do your stuff. I'm making YouTube videos here. I'm trying to help you guys by doing these comparison. I'm trying to help you decide which one's the right choice for you. Is it the Action or the Pocket? So you definitely need that mindset shift when you are going out shooting. Now, I understand that both the Action 4 and the Pocket 2 are not the latest generation. If you ask me, do I plan on upgrading to the newest one, to Pocket 3 and the Action 5 anytime soon? And my answer for you is no. Like, why would I, right? Both the cameras I own right now still works perfectly fine. I'm still amazed every time I rewatch some of the footage that I shot, especially on the Pocket 2. Like, there's just something magical about Pocket 2. Like, when I was out in the field and I shot it, it's so tiny in my hand. I just didn't expect it to perform that well in my head for some reason, psychologically. But every time, like when I look back the footage on the computer, I'm like, oh my god, like this camera shot this. That's so cool. Like I wasn't expecting this amount of details and image quality from this tiny little camera sitting on a gimbal. So I don't know, maybe I'm the only one. Maybe you are too, but every time I look at it, the image quality just kind of blow my mind. So I don't plan on upgrading it to the Pocket 3 anytime soon. If anything, I would say that the 1-inch sensor is going to introduce extra bokeh, a blurriness, which I might not want in some scenario, but it's probably desirable, right? You can shoot a lot better in the low lights and everything. But again, a lot of time when I'm out filming candid stuff and documentary stuff, I tend to want to have everything foreground and background in focus. And I think the DJI Pocket 2 is doing a super great job just capturing these in focus shot. So I don't plan on upgrading anytime soon. And there's no way I'm getting the Action 5 anytime soon as well. I just haven't been using the Action 4 that much lately. I think the most I use the Action 4 is actually just when I'm out driving and I like to use it as a dash cam. I mean, I personally don't really do any crazy, Red Bull stuff, flying off a cliff or jumping off a building or fighting a shark. The only water I scuba dive in is my bathtub, so I don't need Action 4 for that. But hey, if you're trying to get your first action camera, I wouldn't mind just jumping straight to the newest version, the Action 5, right? And of course, buy it through my affiliate link. But yeah, this is my Apple to pair comparison between these two cameras, two very different cameras made by the same company, right? DJI Action 4 versus the Pocket 2. And again, to recap, the usability wise, they're both very usable and they all have different purposes, right? The Action 4 is for when you're out doing some crazy stuff, whereas the Pocket 2, you're in a much like less hostile, more friendly environment. So you can just hold a camera up, be like, point this, ooh, this looks nice. I'm going to take a video of it. You're just more calm and just slower pace. And in return, you're getting a much more smooth footages with lots of great colors, great details, and not a lots of digital stabilization or noise, which result in a more better looking and cinematic videos. So I would definitely go from there. Like think about where you're going to use this camera to shoot, right? Most of the time, don't think like, oh, I might do this, but I also do that. Think about what you're going to be using this camera to do the most. Is it like me doing these walking documentary of like an event or city just exploring, or is it gonna be more like action oriented, right? And yeah, let me know what you guys think of the comparison. Which footage do you prefer? Or a better question would be, what situation would you bring the action over the pocket, or vice versa? That's the question I face every single time when I go out, not knowing which camera to bring. So comment down below. I would love to hear your thoughts. My name's Aki. Hope to see you in the next one.